Hey, whoa, this is cool because I'm doing live video for my Beat the Binge group we're going on 2,000 members, which is so cool. And I'm live videoing you guys, and I'm live videoing my other Facebook world. So I'm live video you guys, and I just have like my phone stacked on top of my computer because I made an invention so I could do it both at the same time. Because this is a topic that comes up so much and all the time about how to be a normal eater. So hello, my name is Lydia and I am a lifestyle coach, and I just specialize in helping women be free from food crazies using nothing but their brain and a few common household items. Plus, you don't need the household items. So yeah, that's what I do. And it's so much fun. We have a huge Facebook group that grew by like 1,000 people in the past couple of months. Like, it's been really, really cool. And there's just been all sorts of discussion in there about, okay, like, how do you eat normally? What is a normal eater? I don't know how to eat normally. Like, will I ever know how to eat normally? Or a whole bunch of ideas. Oh, thanks you guys for all like the little hearts and likes, and feel free to like type in any sort of questions that you have or comments. Like, this is live, so we'll just roll with the punches. So really this idea of what does it mean to be a normal eater? And there's also been a lot of discussion about, okay, like, so you have a really strong opinion of what a normal eater is, right? Like, you have a really strong opinion in your mind of like, this is what normal eating looks like. So I just wanted to clear it up. I mean, I have worked with hundreds and hundreds of women, and so many of them specifically about just getting free from their issues around food. So being a normal eater, and I myself, I was bulimic for years and years. I am now completely free from it. I don't consider myself like in recovery or managing my eating disorder. Like, I'm literally done. I'm literally free. I am over it. I'm completely over it. Like, the idea of binge eating just seems so far away and so ridiculous. It stays fresh because I help so many other women get free from it, but I just want you to know, like, complete and utter freedom is so possible. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how to be a normal eater. This is something that's a desire for a lot of women. Like, okay, I just want to be normal. I just want to be a normal eater, right? So it's a big desire, and so we're going to talk about it. The very biggest thing about it is to remember there's no right or wrong way to like be a normal eater, right? Like, it's not like, oh, normal eaters do this exactly. Really, my measurement for what I help women to achieve in their normal eating is to eat what you want. Like, the true you, the higher brain, the prefrontal cortex, like that person inside of you, that voice in your mind that says like, you know what, like, this is what I want to do. That person, being able to follow that completely and just eat what you want. And oh, yay, live video. Yes, I'm here. How fun. It's so fun to see you guys on. And go ahead and post any like questions along the way, because I know this is definitely something that comes up. So really just eating what you want. Being empowered to however you would like to eat to actually do that. Because one thing that happens is a pattern when we have disordered eating is we wake up in the morning and we decide, I want to eat this way, and then we don't. Something happens, we feel hijacked, circumstances change, all of a sudden we're not eating how we want to, or something comes in your way, or some emotion comes in your life, and all of a sudden it's this hijacked feeling, and then, oh, I blew it, so I might as well eat everything else because I got to start over tomorrow, right? So that's just that disordered cycle that keeps going. So literally just eating how you intend to is that big piece for normal eating. And that is going to be different for different people. So one aspect of normal eating, when you kind of know that you're there, is when you have the ability to adjust, right? So a lot of times we have these very rigid, like, this is the way that is right to eat and this is what I have to stick to. So the ability to have that flexibility of, hey, I can adjust. Oh, I'm out to a restaurant, so I don't know what's in all the food. I can just order something and move on, and it doesn't take up any sort of like mental energy. In fact, somebody else could order for me and I would be totally fine. Oh, I can order something in a restaurant and I don't beat myself up for it later. Oh, I can order something in a restaurant and I don't wake up the next morning with regret. Like, that's a signal of a normal eater. You can adjust with your circumstance and it's literally not a big deal. The other part of it is to not have to eat stuff you don't want to eat. So many of the women that I coach, and all of the weight that they've gained from the binge eating, it's not because they were off of their perfect plan. It's because of all the other stuff they ate they didn't even want to. I hear this so often of, Lydia, I don't even want to eat all this. I just find myself eating it all and eating it quickly. So being able to just say no, like, I don't want to eat that, not in a restrictive willpower way, just simply at, hey, I don't want to, so I'm not going to do it. Like, if you had just some stranger knock on your door and say, hey, give me $20, like, it's that sort of feeling of like, oh, hello, brain, you have a suggestion that I should eat the rest of this box of cookies? Okay, isn't that interesting? Like, there's no power or drive of that compulsion to actually do it. You cannot eat whatever you want to not eat. And to eat healthily if you want to. Now, this is a really important piece of it. So many people will say, sugar is like heroin, or it's addictive, or once you start this, you can't stop. Like, being able to eat what you want means to eat healthy if you want to, and unhealthy things if you want to. Literally, either one of those, and being able to adjust. Normalcy means you don't have to follow anything rigid. If you want to follow something, you can, right? It's really about what you want. But here's the thing that I want to clear up for you guys, is a lot of people will think like, oh, if I am a normal eater, it means that I'm never going to want sweets again. It means that my desire for cupcakes is going to be non-existent. And I would suggest that's not normal. If you don't like cupcakes, if you don't want cupcakes, then you have the complete ability to not eat them as a normal eater. But if you want a cupcake, if it's like, hey, I would like a cupcake right now, those look good, here's an experience where cupcakes are available for me and I would like to have one, then you can have one of those. So normalcy doesn't mean that all of a sudden the only things that you crave are lettuce and chicken. It means the things that you crave are just the things that you happen to want at that moment, and it's not a big deal either way. So one way to get to normalcy, I want to kind of debunk this out there. Well, I don't necessarily want to debunk it, but I just want to say I don't agree with it. The women that I help get free don't need to follow this sort of guideline, and I want you to know that you don't have to be a normal eater. A lot of people will say, oh, you know what? Like, if you feel fear around cookies, then you just need to eat cookies all the time. You just need to eat lots and lots and lots of cookies until the sting and the scare of cookies is gone. You can try it. You can totally try it. Like, go for it. If that fixes your problems, that's great. But with normal eating, with what I teach women to do, it's about the freedom to say, you know what? If you don't want to eat cookies and cookies and cookies and have them in your house all the time and that's all that you do, like, you don't have to. So when we're trying not to restrict, but we're saying, oh, well, I have to eat everything in sight because I'm not restricting, that still gives food the power, right? That still means that you're not in control. Or on the other side of it, oh, well, I don't want to, have cookies have the power over me, so I'm going to completely get them out of my life. I'm going to keep them out of my house. I will never go to an event where I'm exposed to cookies. Look at that. The cookies still have the power. So really, this is about you deciding. You don't have to eat all the cookies. You don't have to obliterate the cookies. You can literally have whatever relationship with cookies in your life that you want. That's a normal eater. The other thing that comes up a lot is this idea of intuitive eating, right? So like, oh, you just have to follow your hunger signals and you have to follow your fullness signals. Again, if that works for you, awesome. Go for it. But here's what I find a lot of the time, and I'll share my own experience as well. So when I was bulimic and I was eating huge amounts of food and then I was starving myself for as long as I could manage before I ate huge amounts of food again, what was happening is my hunger and my fullness signals went away. Like, they just weren't there at all. Like, people who said, oh man, I'm so full I couldn't have another bite, like I literally just thought they were lying, or there was something so wrong with me that I didn't feel it. But my hunger and fullness signals, they just went away, you guys. Like, they weren't there because what I was doing to my body was just distorting those signals so much. So I could literally eat and eat and eat until I was physically to the point of pain, and I would still feel physically hungry. I just couldn't physically eat any more food. So there's got to be something there, right? Like, it can't be, oh, well, we can always follow our hunger and fullness signals, especially when they're gone. So if your hunger and fullness signals are gone, cool. Like, just get them back. But don't beat yourself up about not having them or not being able to follow them. I think that's a fine way to eat. It's all good. But again, it's about the have to. So if you don't have hunger and fullness signals, we just get you to a point where you have a normal relationship with food. You're not binging anymore. And then guess what happens? They come back. They come back. I remember the first time that I felt normal hunger and fullness signals. Like, I think I was just like eating an omelet or something. And I took like another bite of the omelet, and I just had this feeling like, oh, I'm full. And I don't want any more food. Because before it would be, I'm full, and now I have a really strong compulsion to just eat a ton of food more. That was my disordered eating. When I got my eating normal, it was like, wow, the desire for food goes away when you're full. Oh, superpowers! Yeah, Jerry, thank you. Superpowers, absolutely. So yeah, exactly. Oh, and I love how you guys are bringing up the video about, good food and bad food, right? It's just food. It's just like neutral. It's just like fine. Like, if you still feel really charged about food, if food feels like a morality for you, this is the right food to eat, this is the wrong food to eat, if I desire or I eat this food, then I am bad. That is not normal eating. You're not there yet. Keep going. Because normal eating is really just like that neutrality, okay? So you don't need to trust your hunger and fullness signals. And when they do come back, you don't have to be a slave to them. So let me give you a little glimpse into normal eating in the life of Lydia the lifestyle coach. So when I go throughout the day, like, I do a lot of stuff, right? I like to stay busy. I love what I do. I like helping you guys get free from food crazies. So sometimes I go throughout my day and I'm working hard and I physically feel hungry. My normal hunger and fullness signals come up and it says, you're hungry. And I say, cool. But I'm not going to eat right now because I've got something that I'm doing, and I will physically feel the feeling of hunger, and after a while it'll go away, and then later when I choose, I eat something. Or when I feel full and I'm out to a restaurant and I just feel physically full and they say, hey, look, they have amazing dessert at this restaurant. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know they had world famous amazing dessert at this restaurant. And I check in with myself and I say, hey, do I want dessert? Yeah, I feel like it. Yes, I'm physically full, but I still want to taste the dessert and enjoy that. Guess what? That's not morally wrong. It's not. You can do it if you want to as a normal eater. So you can override your hunger. You can override your fullness. Because guess who gets to decide? You get to decide. Everything that I teach about being a normal eater is you're the boss. There you go. Enjoy. So that's what it looks like there. Okay. And just to clear up when you're a normal eater, it doesn't mean that you're always going to just crave only healthy things that align with the idea of the perfect meal plan that you have in your head right now. It means that what you crave and what you want is probably going to change and is probably not going to be a big deal. How cool is that? Really, the whole thing is number one, doing what you want. Eating, not eating, what you eat. You could eat in different sorts of ways. All of that. Number one, doing what you want. And number two, that it's not a big deal. I can go for days on end and not really remember all my food choices. Back when I was bulimic, I could give you, in fact, I would track it in 2 different places, and I could give you a play-by-play of everything that I ate, everything I felt good about, everything that I felt bad about. What did I have for breakfast this morning? Oh, I had like a smoothie. I had to think about it. Like, it wasn't like one of these things that decided the whole mood of my day, right? Like, that was real time, me figuring out what I had for breakfast. Because food is literally not a big deal. Food is not something that gives me guilt. Food is not something that gives me joy. I enjoy it, but the excitement level because of food is like guess what? I get excited about other things because I don't have to get all my excitement from food anymore. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea and some tips and just, something for your brain to feast on, pun intended, about what is a normal eater and what that looks like. So go ahead, keep on posting, comments and questions and any of that, or what you would like to see in some more live feeds. But just so happy that we got to chat today. Let me know if you enjoyed this and if we should do this again sometime. But this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach, live broadcast to all my Facebook world, and the Beat the Binge group, which is a really cool group as well. You guys can join it. I'll maybe put a link below or something, or those of you are already in it, congratulations, you're in it. And this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach. If you would like to change your relationship with food, if it's something that just isn't serving you and you're not happy about it, you can go to lydiawente.com, lydiawente.com. You can just go there and you can get a free ebook and you can join our Facebook group, or you can go to /apply. And I just had more openings for free 45-minute breakthrough sessions where we get the foundation of what's going on and we get clarity about that. And then, if it's a fit, then I'll help you to know what the next step is, or you can just get that step of clarity, and that's awesome. I always highly qualify the women in my program. But that would be the next step, and just snag a spot if there's still one left. So Lydia, the lifestyle coach, au revoir. Finish.